So my girlfriend Shannon came up with this idea of putting a little squirrel feeder on the side of our fence, and it's basically just going to hang off the 2x4 top rail, and we could throw a little food in there. The squirrel can run by and jump in, get the food, run back to his tree, and basically you can see it'll just hook onto this like that. It's a 2x4 here, piece of plywood, and maybe I'll put something underneath the fence rail to hold it on. But yeah, for the siding we're going to use some cedar, I'm sorry, not cedar, we're going to use some redwood shakes, little tiny shakes I made. This is just a prototype example of what I have going on so far. Here's the board I'm going to use for the bottom and the sides. You can see it's let's see, it's 7 1/4 inches. So I'll cut the bottom out, and then I'll use this for the sides and the back as well. So here I'm going to cut the sides out. I just put my square here, measured up 6 inches, and I just put it on common 5. I cut this off here, and I'll just throw it right there. And that angle is the same. And I'll just mark this and cut that, and I have my 2 sides. Here's our 2 pieces for the side. Now I'll make the back real quick. So you can see how I have my board marked. There's the angle running down, and it's a straight line across. And I set my saw on an angle. So you can see the rough shape here. This cuts down here at a nice angle, same height. So let's get it built. So I've marked my roof panel out of the piece of plywood here. I'm just going to cut that out and put it on top. I'm sanding this stuff down, and look who's watching me. So you can see what I did there. I just rounded that off with the rasp, and I'll sand it with some sandpaper, smooth it out. And I'll do the same to this side. I'll try and get this one on camera so you can see it. Shannon came up with this cool design. Get closer. And you can see she drew it in pencil and put marker on there so I can, see the nice lines. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna carve this out, and then we're gonna paint the house once I finish putting the shingles on. So you can see here, I'm just gonna kind of carve around the outline, and I'll clean it up and make it nice and smooth, get all these little chips out of there. The thing with this redwood, it's kind of hard to get some details. The wood likes to splinter. You can see here, just at this little, it's not that tight of a spot. You can see it's the size of my finger basically, but still just cutting this edge and this edge here, it wants to splinter. So I'm just gonna have to take it easy, take my time. This is a little V2 tool, and this is useful for making some lines like I'm gonna make here, but you wanna run it with the grain. You can see the grain of the wood is going this way. This tool is not very useful, at least in this carving this redwood piece. I couldn't use it to cut this, it would just splinter up and make a big mess. So, but I will be able to use it for these little spots here. Make a nice clean little line. Oh my god, they're all over the place.
Oh, did you get that?
Kind of. I'm not even sure. Here's the finished squirrel hut after we painted it. We got a little ceramic tray in there that Shannon got to hold the food. This is just a shot of the back of the squirrel hut. You can see the yellow and gray paint that we used for it. Last year we built this picnic table, and we used the gray and yellow paint for the chairs and the table. This cherry tree always blossoms in the spring, and you can see all these beautiful white little flowers that come out. It looks nice with the little squirrel hut right there. As soon as we were done putting the screw in, we looked up in the tree, and there was already a squirrel checking it out. He was pretty curious as to see what we were up to down there. This squirrel couldn't wait. We just screwed it in, and he had to come check it out.
He's like, yes.
Watch him coming down the tree. You can see him there in the sunlight, and look at his little legs holding on back there. It's pretty funny to see him like that. But yeah, he came down and checked it out right away. This is great.
Come here. Come here.
We were inside making dinner, and I stepped out back, and I caught this guy just in time to see him getting in there and getting some food out. First customer. I think at this point here he saw us standing inside and came over to thank us maybe for putting the house there with the little food. Who knows? But he seemed to be wagging his tail at us. Hey folks, thanks for checking out my video. That was a fun one to make. recording all those squirrels running up and down the trees all over the neighborhood, trying to get some food. It was fun to get Shannon involved making this one too. She painted it and helped design the whole thing anyways. So yeah, it was her idea in the first place. So I'll show you what I'm coming up with for my next project. Over here in the corner of my driveway, you'll see some planter boxes. Stay tuned, folks.